Good morning, everyone. Rise and shine because it is another episode of Good Morning Soul. And today, I'm going to be picking up where I left off in my job series, talking about like my first job, my second job, and today my third job, unless you don't count my first job. And this is another like weird, not an actual job, like under the table type of shit. And this job was run by a weird company called Student Painters. And like what I know about this company is that they're sketchy as fuck. Basically, what happened was this guy, this like college kid, came to my school at the time, like I'm in high school, and this dude, I don't know why they let a random ass dude offer kids a job in the middle of class. That sounds sketchy AF, but that's basically what he did. He came to our school, like this random little classroom I was in, and there's like 24 kids in there, and he's just like, yeah, fucking, you want a job, like blah 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 blah. And he said it in a much more professional manner. He was like obviously like a stoner dude with like, who's being dressed up nice, like he's got like a collared shirt on with a clipboard. And basically the job he was like offering was like door-to-door salesman stuff. Like literally we would be going door to door asking people like, hey, do you want your house painted? Do you want like a pressure wash? Do you want like just stuff like that? And if they're not home, leave a flyer, move on to the next house. And at this point in time, like there was a lot of, like, I was talking about how I was taking care of my grandfather who had dementia. There was like less pressure on that for me. Like I had my own car now, and I was able to, like, even when I worked at Taco Bell I had a car, but like I was only like able to use it so much. But at this point, like, I'm able to drive my own car around. Like, it's my own car. It's really my mom's, but she let me use it like my own. And so I was like, hey, like, it sounds like they're gonna be able to pay me good. Like, I'm gonna be making minimum wage, but like I'm gonna have like stuff on top of that. I'm gonna have like people, like, I'm gonna make a little bit of money from everyone that I convince that they're, like, everyone whose name I get signed and everyone who I like fully convince like we're gonna paint your house, I get a little bit of money for. And so like I knew all of those kids like were probably gonna call that dude immediately, so I didn't even bother. Like I was like, hey, yo, can I use the bathroom? And so I called that guy before class even ended. And another one of my friends who was in that class, Salman, who you guys have probably seen in my videos before, he called the guy too, and we both got jobs for these people. And we were the only ones in that class. Like I thought everyone was gonna try, but it was just us. We were the only hustlers for money. So basically this guy would, like, we'd get an app on our phone to like track our steps, and this guy, like, basically, like, we would decide our own hours, we would decide all of that shit. He would just say, go to this neighborhood, and we would basically just solicitate our asses off. And yeah, that's basically how it went. We went to some of the uppity areas around town, and there was a lot of like weird low experiences, and we were actually pretty good at it. Me and Solomon had good chemistry. We were able to like bounce off each other. Just like our little like prep would be like, hey, we're students, we go to Ashley High School, and we such and such, and we work for this company, and we want to know if your house would like be painted. The fact that we were students was kind of just like this little marketing tool, like, that they were using to like make it be like, oh, these like students are like painting our house, like, hubby. Like, that was what they were going for. Shady as shit. And I remember there was some really bad experiences. Like, they sent us to this neighborhood that you weren't allowed to solicitate in. There was a couple areas that they sent us to that we weren't allowed to solicitate in. Big ass no soliciting signs. And like we told the guy that, and like he was kind of just like whatever about it. So in these neighborhoods, I remember there were some weird people. Like, there was a couple like really good scenarios. Like there's this one dude, like we knocked on his door and he was just like, yo, come in here. And he had his legs were gone, like he had people taking care of him. And we were like, I don't want to solicitate to this dude. Like, but he was super nice. Like he just signed the paper and he was like, oh, I'm probably not going to buy this, but you know, thank you for stopping by. And you know, very chill. And we ran into like some of my old teachers. Like that was a really cool experience. Like there was this teacher who like no longer worked at the school, and I got to see him again, and he was like living this very chill retirement life. That was great. There was this one guy who was like super pissed off. Like it wasn't even because of us. We literally just knocked on the door and his kids were running around, and then we're kind of just like backing off like what? And then this super buff dude with his shirt off, panting, he's like what? And then we had to solicitate to him. Like what? Like I wasn't trying to do that. And basically we just got really good at just getting people to sign our piece of paper, and we didn't get any of the money for that. Like they completely lied to us. We didn't even make minimum wage. Like we basically like we weren't fired or anything. They're just like, oh yeah, well this like it was a very sketchy situation. They just kind of were like, we're no longer doing this, and they just were like, yeah, we're done. And so they just gave us the rest of our money, which wasn't even enough like money. We were kind of pissed off about that. And even when we were going door to door, like there was like a couple of people who were like, oh, student painters, yeah, like my son worked for them, they ripped him off. And we're just kind of like, what? Like what? And you know, so, but you know, at the time we were like, any money is money. Like we weren't that upset about it. So we kept doing this, going door to door, and there was this one really bad instance. Like someone, like, I'll just tell the whole story. Basically, we're going door to door in a no soliciting area, but we didn't even know this was a no soliciting area. We saw the signs on the way back to our car, and basically, like, people were being super rude to us. There was this woman, like, we knocked on the door, we're like, hey, we're from the school and we're wondering, and she was like, nope, slammed the door in our face. Rude as fuck. And you know, there was a couple other people who like literally we would open the door, say that, and they would like kind of like not cuss us out, but just be like, like don't solicitate in this neighborhood, like go away, shut the door in our face. And you know, we kept doing like that. Happened to us like however many times, and we were just like, you know what, fuck this area. And then we did, after one of the people were like, this is a no soliciting area, then we were like, okay, let's just go back to our car. Like we can go to a different neighborhood, it's not a big deal. But when we went back to our car, there was a big ass letter on my car, and it said like, this is a no soliciting area, don't come back. This is, and it said, what did it say? It was like, there is no soliciting in this hood or whatever. And like it had the word hood, like we were like these young like gangsters. Like the word hood was capitalized and had quotes around it. And I didn't know if that, like, Solomon's black, I don't know if they're being racist towards him. Like I don't know why they said the word hood like that in the letter. Like it was specifically trying to be like, fuck you, like in all caps, don't fucking bother us, fuck you. And I was just like, I'm just doing my job for this sketchy company. You don't gotta be a fucking dick about it. You don't have to leave racist remarks on my car about it. But yeah, that's basically how that whole thing happened. And you know, we didn't get that much money. I think we got like a couple, like I probably walked away with like $200 at the end of this for like probably for like 400 hours dollars like work for minimum wage work. So it was actually a pretty shitty experience now that I like reflect on it, as funny as it was. And that doesn't count for like the money you're paying for gas, because you are driving around the town, and you know, you're leaving a bunch of flyers, you're putting in like some actual work, like, and we didn't get paid for it. And yeah, that was basically the whole story of me being a door-to-door salesman, trying to get people to not let me paint their homes, let some random people I don't know paint their homes. I'm just the guy, you know, handing them pamphlets or whatever. So yeah, very sketchy job, and I would not recommend it to anyone. But yeah, anyway, that was today's story. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and with that, I leave you.